You wake up in the dead of night. The temperature outside has plunged well below freezing. Every breath feels like shards of glass scraping against your lungs. The room you're in feels impossibly cold, the air heavy and still, as if the cold itself is pressing down on your chest. No heater hums in the background, no thermostat whispers promises of warmth, and no expensive winter gear cushions you from the frost creeping through the walls. By all logic, a single, tiny flame shouldn't be able to heat this room, let alone keep you comfortable all night. Yet, what you're about to learn will defy that expectation. Something as cheap and ordinary as a $1 grocery store item can transform your space, turning it from a frozen trap into a surprisingly warm sanctuary. Most people walk past this item without a second thought. They assume warmth requires expensive technology or industrial-strength heaters. They overlook the quiet genius hidden in simplicity. The humble tea-light candle, often dismissed as decorative, holds the potential to generate a steady, radiant heat that can change your night entirely. The secret isn't in the size of the flame, but in how you use it. You've been conditioned to think bigger always equals better, but the truth is, physics can do more than your wallet ever could. These small flames, when properly ranged and combined with a simple terracotta setup, can trap heat, slowly release it, and create a controlled microenvironment that keeps the room significantly warmer than you might imagine. The first mistake most people make is underestimating the importance of thermal mass. A flame alone radiates heat briefly before it disappears into the cold air. But when paired with a terracotta pot, you are effectively creating a heat battery. The clay absorbs energy from the flame and releases it gradually over time, converting a momentary spark into sustained warmth. Even better, the terracotta's structure allows air to circulate beneath it, preventing hot spots and distributing the warmth evenly. A single candle tucked beneath an inverted pot becomes an invisible furnace, radiating heat without burning your fingertips or consuming massive amounts of fuel. You might be wondering about safety. The key is ventilation and spacing. Place your candles in a cluster of small terracotta pots, ensuring each has a few inches of clearance around it. This allows oxygen to flow steadily, preventing the buildup of carbon monoxide and reducing the risk of flame contact with flammable materials. The airflow also optimizes combustion, meaning more heat is generated per flame. It's a delicate balance that most people ignore, thinking a few candles are enough regardless of arrangement. Improper placement doesn't just reduce heat efficiency, it can create silent, invisible danger. Now consider the positioning within the room. Heat naturally rises, so placing your terracotta battery system slightly elevated ensures maximum distribution, while reflective surfaces around the cluster bounce warmth back into the room rather than letting it vanish against cold walls. Simple kitchen aluminum foil or ceramic tile placed behind the pots amplifies the effect, increasing the effective temperature by several degrees without any extra candles. Most people miss this entirely, leaving all that energy to escape into the corners, never reaching where it's needed most. Another overlooked factor is heat retention through insulation. Even in a small room, air currents steal warmth from the candles and the terracotta mass if the space isn't sealed against drafts. Closing doors, covering windows with thick fabric, or using inexpensive bubble wrap as a temporary barrier can trap the heated air, transforming your modest candle setup into a self-contained heating system. You don't need walls of concrete or high-tech insulation. You only need to understand the simple principle of containing the heat you create. Every bit you trap multiplies the effectiveness of your $1 investment exponentially. The genius of this method lies not just in physics, but in economy and accessibility. While others spend hundreds on space heaters that guzzle electricity and fail during power outages, you can create a predictable, safe, and sustainable heat source from a handful of candles and a few terracotta pots. The system is modular, scalable, and portable. In a survival scenario, portability is as vital as warmth. You can move your setup room to room, or even adapt it for temporary shelters, always keeping your body in a safe thermal envelope without relying on external power or costly gear. You also need to understand the timing. Candle heat builds gradually, so it's crucial to light them well before the coldest hours. Position your terracotta heat batteries in the early evening. Allow them to absorb energy, and by midnight, the room will be noticeably warmer, sustained throughout the night. This preemptive approach mirrors what seasoned survivalists do instinctively. They prepare before discomfort becomes dangerous. A small, deliberate action now prevents a potentially life-threatening situation later. Finally, let's address the psychological element. The warmth from this simple system does more than comfort your body. It restores a sense of control in a hostile environment. The knowledge that you can create heat with almost nothing, that your survival doesn't depend on expensive technology or infrastructure, is empowering. You're no longer at the mercy of the cold. Each flicker of a candle becomes a reassurance, each degree of warmth a victory over circumstance. It's an elegant, battle-tested solution that combines physics, strategy, and resourcefulness all for a few dollars. By the time the night ends, you'll have experienced firsthand the hidden advantage of simple ingenuity. This method is not a gimmick. It's grounded in real science, in the understanding of radiant heat, airflow, and thermal mass. It's cheap, safe when executed correctly, and astonishingly effective. You've just discovered the kind of knowledge most people overlook, the kind that separates discomfort from danger, ignorance from preparedness. One small candle, a humble pot, a few smart adjustments, and the cold no longer has power over you.